Everyone. As the crypto markets in perils right now, we're going to be talking about a couple key things as XRP briefly was under 38 cents, but is now sitting at the 3812 level approximately. We're going to talk about what a bull trap is by definition and why it is very dangerous when a lot of people are trying to spin the market being a bull market when in fact this is a prototypical bull market, or you can call it a bear market rally. And what exactly a falling channel is I believe we've fallen into it. I talked about it earlier, how if we could come down and hit this a third time in my earlier update, that we would confirm this falling channel, or at least that's what I thought we were starting to go towards. And right now we're in a falling channel right now. It's pretty evident. So we're going to go over that. I'm going to show you the falling channel live on XRP's chart, and I'm also going to show you what a falling channel is by definition so that you can understand what I'm showing you on the chart. Make sure to hit that like button as it can quickly move me through the analytics. And I want to thank the 1,000 people who have already watched this morning's video. It's absolutely tremendous that you're showing me that kind of support. I'll catch you after the intro. Good evening, 7:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, February 9th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I apologize, I just finished my 68th workout. As some of you guys know, I started weight training again. It's been 68 workouts, and I finished my last little set there at the end of that intro. So I'm a little winded. But enough of that, let's get into it. So as you can see, XRP is at 0.3831, up about 0.37%. But we came down a pretty nice way here today. And first thing I want to talk about is this little falling channel. So when we put this out earlier, we had downtrending resistance, and we came down to support. But we pushed this out. This didn't form yet. This wasn't like this. We hadn't dropped down. Now it confirmed what we were thinking earlier. After we broke out of that, what I call still an ascending triangle. It was ascending, and then it ended up breaking down into what we could call a descending triangle, but I think it's more falling channel like we called earlier. And the best way for me to explain this is to show you what a falling channel is. So you got falling resistance, so you have lower highs and lower lows in succession. So your falling resistance, falling support is the best way to put it, simultaneously. So if we look at it by definition, so a falling channel is a bearish technical chart pattern that is formed when a security's price falls within two downward sloping parallel lines. It is typically considered a bearish pattern as it shows a consistent downtrend in price, with each high being lower than the previous one, and each low being lower than the previous one. The pattern is formed when an asset experiences lower highs and lower lows over a period of time, which is seen as a sign that the bears are in control and that prices are likely to continue to fall. Traders often look to sell the asset near the top of the channel, while others may look to buy near the bottom of the channel, anticipating a rebound in price. So now, based on what I've just said, and then the definition I read after what I was showing you, could we not say, if you were going to long the market now, assuming that this was going back to the top of the channel, but at some point, you're going to have a break of it, and then it's going to become more of like a descending triangle if it doesn't break back into the channel. And I like to do things like this. And this is where I'll get a lot of criticism because people will be like, oh, that's not a true pattern. It's not, but it could be building what's to come here. Because look, if we break this into a descending triangle out of the falling channel now and kind of navigate the pattern, what ends up happening here is this. So we came down, let me put on my my brush. So here's the channel, the falling channel. You got the resistance. Well, now people would long it to come back up here. Well, if it turns into more of a descending triangle with that downtrending resistance like that, instead of just staying within that falling channel, now you'd have to have some area. So this would be the first, second. Now if it came back and bounced up, and let's say it only came up to here, the 396 or 7, and the 397, you guys remember that as the ultimate support. Now it could be the ultimate resistance. Because what happens is you come up here, and this would be where you would have a failure. So let's say the 387 holds this time as resistance. Well, now you know that this is turning into a descending triangle. Right now it is not. It can be interpreted as it, but right now it's in a falling channel. Some might say it's a descending triangle, but I disagree. Unless it pulls off what I'm saying right now. And yeah, you could simply say it's a descending triangle by making the pattern fit what you want. You could come up here and cut it off, right? You could come down. You could do whatever you want to make it into what you want. But I'm telling you, unless this forms right now, that's where the descending triangle is starting. That's why now the ascending pattern broke. We couldn't break over the 6, 7, 8 times we came up over. So now we focused on the falling channel that we thought earlier we had formed. Or that we were in the process of forming. And until we hit here, it didn't verify what we were thinking. And at first we were thinking it could be a broadening wedge on XRP, but it looks more like a falling channel is the appropriate pattern. And that hit on support there confirms to me what I needed to know. So that's what we're looking at right now. And you can look at this area, seeing that if it does cut off because we did this and then completely melted, we could say we might have started a descending triangle in here as well. So that's something to pay attention to. But right now we're firmly in a falling channel unless we get some kind of re-support here, a second hit. And it could be anywhere on that downtrending resistance that could possibly be formed. But we won't know anything until the pattern does and moves on here a little bit into the future. So now let's get into a bull trap. What is a bull trap before we look at Bitcoin? A bull trap is exactly what you're seeing played out. Exactly the kind of buzz you'll get in the market where they think we've hit a bottom, especially when we've hit a bottom, and that the bear market's over and we're in a new bull run. The bull run's starting. When in reality, it's actually a bull trap. And I'll explain to you exactly what a bull trap is by definition. And if you could kindly hit that like button while I'm reading this, I'd greatly appreciate it if you haven't done it so far. And also, find it within your heart to hit that share button so we can get new people into this. If for any other reason, the fact that I've made it through 68 weight training workouts now in the last just over 3 months. So, hey. So a bull trap is a situation in which investors who expect the rise of a stock or a market to rise are trapped into buying at a high price, only for the price to subsequently fall. This can happen in a market that is showing signs of a bullish trend, with prices rising and creating the illusion of a solid upward move. However, when the price fails to continue in its upward trend and instead falls, the investors who bought at the high price are trapped in their positions, leading to losses. Bull traps can occur in bear markets, which are characterized by a declining trend in stock prices. In a bear market, there may be a brief period of upward price movement, which can trick investors into thinking that the market trend is reversed and that prices are about to rise. This can lead them to buy stocks at a high price, only to see the price fall again as the bear market continues. Sound like anything you've been hearing the last few weeks? Especially the last 2 weeks? Actually, the last 5 weeks now since the new year. So, what have I been saying the last 3 days? If we stay below what number? 413 and ultimately the 40-cent mark, we can crash. Especially if you see a rejection at 397. That to me was a leading indicator in that area. And now, well, Tom, what's the relevance of that area? What was an unseen relevance to that area? Because now you can see how that area we came back up. And now when we bounce back through here, it's very possible that as we go through in time, these areas are going to start to show themselves to us. And it's starting to. So, have we went from an ascending triangle and now confirmed the breakdown, which I believe we did when we got rejected here and we showed this area, the confluency, fell into a falling channel. Now are we tightening up into a descending triangle? Because a falling channel would give it top-end potential that's higher. And a descending triangle, this downtrending resistance is crashing a lot harder. So, that's what we have to see, ladies and gentlemen. Because if we're in a descending triangle now instead of this falling channel, we're only going to be able to muster up enough courage to get up to about the 40-cent mark for a rejection, instead of coming all the way back up here to 411 area. You could even say the 413 if we came up in here. So it's either are we have enough strength to come back to the 413, or are we actually coming up to the 40 cents to get rejected in a descending triangle, or are we going to continue in this falling channel and go to the 413? That's all you need to know. Are we going to the 413 to continue this falling channel, or are we going to get a verification of the descending triangle at the 40 cent mark? That is what we're watching for. That is the best technical analysis I can give you for XRP. And for Bitcoin, remember what I said? That was my projection. I kept it up there for days. because I felt like we topped out and we were going to come down to that downtrending support resistance that's been a multi-year trend line. And even if we were bullish, wouldn't we have to test it again around 20,965? We talked about the 200-day, but we talked about ultimately coming down here to 20,965. And I drew it out for everybody. That would make the Bart-Simpson top, but not verify that this pattern is overall bearish. Oh no, much worse than that. It could be a big trap here, coming to get some liquidity. And then we could ultimately bounce out to the 28K or 26.2, maybe even 25K. If this were to break. But otherwise, this would be a left shoulder, a topping reversal with the Bart-Simpson top, come back up, maybe have enough mustard to come to maybe 22K, and then you'd reverse down. But if we break through here and come to, let's say, oh, I don't know, 20,413, and then get rejected at 20,965 approximately, that's big trouble. That's big bear trouble. And that was a speculatory level at 20,965 in time. Because now it's actually been using it as we went through the history. So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin. I haven't hid this at all. It just makes me look a little bit smarter when the pattern does exactly what I've talked about for days. So pay attention to every one of these updates. I'm more than just the charts. I'm more than just definition. What I am is I have a full mind to see the diversification that we need to have as a group. This is why with silver, with gold, and I know people will tell you silver shit. Let them tell you whatever they want. Silver is the way to diversify your portfolio by having a store of value with gold. The truth is you can't buy enough silver because it's too heavy. So you have to have gold as well. So I tend to trade my silver for gold when the ratios are different. Right now it's 84 to 1 plus. So I'll buy silver. I'll trade it back to gold when it gets to 40 to 1. And then you alleviate some weight and you get some beautiful gold. Understand what you're doing. This time in history is going to be fantastic for about 5% of you who are watching me. The other 95% are going to get your heads caught up so far up your own asses because we're dealing with a lot of manipulators, a lot of fudsters, and let's face it, a lot of people on YouTube and in social media that are getting paid to push these new shit coins, these new altcoins. Insert whoever you want. If they're promoting some bullshit coin and it's the next 1 billion X, it's horseshit. I don't care if they're your favorite YouTuber or not. You've never seen me shill one of these coins. You never will see me shill one of these coins. And you see my audience size is just under 15,500. I've been getting these same offers, folks. I got the same Celsius offers. I got the same offers to push Luna. I'm just being honest. I got the same offers to push Voyager. So ask yourself, why didn't I? Ethics. XRP Future Millionaire. Hit that like button. Consider joining Com's Army. Join the revolution. Because this is the one place you can trust. Because this is how I live. This is how I maintain my personal and future portfolio and my living standard. But more than that, for Thomas Speaker III, my son, who's 3, when he gets older, that gold and silver, what I'm doing in crypto, he's never going to have to do anything. For generations. Mark my words. You're with me? If you are, your life's going to change. Follow each day, but stay away from the FUD.